Okay, welcome back to cursive writing. Today we're going to be on day 5. So if you've hung around for day 5, you're probably doing really well. I'm glad you're practicing. So today we're going to learn J, P, and Q. And something you might notice about all 3 of those letters, they are all 3 going to go down into the basement. So all 3 of these letters are made similarly, and all 3 go into the basement. So a J is a little bit similar to an I that we learned a few days ago. Remember, with the I, we started at the bottom line. We curved up, touched the dotted line, came back down and put on a tail, and then put our dot. So a J is a little bit similar to that, but it goes on down into the basement. So with our J, we're going to start at the same place we start for the I. We're going to curve up. We're going to trace that back down, but we're going to fall down into the basement. So we just go up to the dotted line and then fall straight down into the basement. This is kind of a straight line, but it's slanted. When you get down here, you're going to curve around this way. So you come down, you curve around this way, you cross at the bottom line, and then it has a tail that comes out like this. Then you're going to dot. So start like you're making an I, drop down into the basement, curve around, and put on your tail and dot. I don't think J is a very hard letter. It's kind of fun to make. So you can pause this video when you're ready and make a line of lowercase j. Okay? Now we're ready to start with lowercase p. So lowercase p looks very similar to the print P, which just goes down into the basement with a straight line, and it has the round part right there. So, but you start out just like you're making an I. You start at the bottom line, you curve up, you come down just like you're doing the J. So far it looks just like the J. You curve around this way just like you did with the J. But this time you're going to go all the way back up. You make a loop. You go all the way back up to the dotted line. See, I'm ending up right here. Then I'm going to curve around and touch and put on a tail. Now sometimes you will see people make a little bit of a fancier P that goes up above the dotted line, comes down, and has this tall point right there. So if you like that, that's fine. If you want to make it this way or this way, either way is fine. I'm just in a habit of stopping right there at the dotted line. So you curve up, straight down into the basement, curve around, come all the way back up to the dotted line, put on the round part. You're ending here and then putting on that tail. Now what I see a lot of 4th graders do is they get mixed up. They'll do this part just fine. They'll do this part just fine. But when they get right here, instead of going up to the dotted line, they'll come around like this. And they end right here. If you end right here, you can't put on your tail. And see, does this look the same as this? Nope. So you've got to make sure that when you go to the dotted line, back around, that you come all the way back up to the dotted line and around, and then put on the tail. So when you're ready, you can pause this video and you can make a line of lowercase p. Okay, so now we're going to make lowercase q. Now lowercase q is very similar to, it just kind of looks like a backward P, doesn't it? So with the Q, you start at the dotted line, and we've not really started there yet. So you're going to start at the dotted line, and you're going to go around and make this round part of the Q. So you start at the dotted line, and you go around, and you close. Now when you're right there, you're going to trace that down, and you're going to drop down into the basement. See how this line is slanted? When you get down into the basement, you're going to curve this way. So you get down in the basement, you curve around and you touch, and then you put on the tail. So it's a circle, down, around, put on the tail. So the curving around this way is what makes a Q look different from a P. You don't want those two to look anything alike. So we're starting this one at the dotted line, going around, down into the basement, curving back like this, because you know on the Q it curves backwards anyway, but you come back up to the line and then put on the tail. When you are ready, you can pause the video and make a line of Q. Okay, let's think of some words that we could write with J, P, or Q and any of the other letters that we've learned. We could write put, P-U-T. So you would make the P, the U, and the tail of the U becomes your T, and then you just cross the T. So P-U-T. In print, it looks like that. In cursive. Okay. We could write the word quill. Q, U, I, L, L. Now this looks strange, doesn't it? But this is the U and this is the I. So when you come over here, you've got to make sure you dot the right place. So now you've got Q, U, I, L, L. We could write quit. Q, U, I, T, and dot. Let's see what we could write. We could write, I'm trying to think of something with a J. We could write jet. J, E, T, and notice you cross the T and dot the J last. J, E, T. Okay, I hope you have fun practicing the J and the P and the Q. We'll start day 6 and learn some new letters. So practice the ones that you've learned in day 1 through 5. I'm sure you can think of words that I didn't think of, and you can practice those. All right, see you guys on day 6.